Welcome to Community Connect on Morris Educational Television. I'm Ed Yaw, President of the County College of Morris. I'm pleased to host today's program sponsored by the Morris Area Consortium for Local Educational Television, a cooperative effort by Morris County schools, colleges, and public libraries to bring you information on key issues in education. On today's program, I am pleased to be joined by Jessica Padilla Gonzalez, Executive Director of the Housing Partnership, a Neighborhood Works Home Ownership Center, and Dr. Dwight Smith, Board Chair. Welcome to both of you. Delighted to have you here. Jessica, especially happy to have you. I think you're in your second year as Executive Director.
I'm in my first year.
Your first year. Yes. Okay, well, consider yourself promoted.
Thank you.
In 1 year.
Thank you.
And Dr. Smith, delighted to have you. Of course, you also serve as the Chief Academic Officer, Vice President for Academic Affairs here at CCM.
Yes.
And have been on the board for at the Housing Partnership for a number of years.
Yes.
So delighted to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's find out a little bit about your backgrounds. Jessica, tell me a little bit about your background and how you ended up at the Housing Partnership.
Well, I am a college graduate of the College of St. Elizabeth's.
Okay.
I went for a major in sociology and social work, and I always knew that I had a passion for helping people. When I graduated college, there was an opening at the Housing Partnership for an assistant counselor, and I applied, and it was a perfect match for something that I've always wanted to do. It was helping people achieve that American dream, and then it also gave me the opportunity to help the community itself by ensuring that these people who purchase become successful homeowners and they give back to the community at the end of the day. At the organization, I worked my way up from the bottom. I was basically the assistant counselor, I became the senior counselor, and then I was the homeownership center manager for a year. And then last year, when the position became available for executive director, I went for it. I was actually working on my master's as well at FDU to get the position. So.
Very good. Well, congratulations on your success, and anxious to hear more about the organization a little bit later in the program. Dwight, maybe you could share your background with us as well.
Sure. Well, my second year here as Vice President of Academic Affairs was nominated for Leadership Morris, and one of the assignments in Leadership Morris was to identify a nonprofit, to go and learn about that nonprofit. And I did an interview with Susan Zellman, who was the founding director of Housing Partnership, who invited me for a training session. The Housing Partnership, and I'm sure Jessica will talk about it in a moment, offers educational programs. So I attended and began to learn a little bit more about the partnership, and received a call from Susan a couple weeks later, invited me to become a member, and I've been involved with the Housing Partnership since then as secretary, and then just became chair this past spring.
So you rose up through the ranks.
That's right, much like Jessica.
Pretty quickly. So you guys are a team working together. And how large is the board?
The board we have 10 members, I believe. We always welcome new members. We can have a board of up to 15 members. We have various committees, resource development, membership committee. There's executive committee, which consists of the chair, the treasurer, the assistant chair, and secretary. We meet regularly with Jessica to identify issues and set the agenda for the board. The board meets every 2 months throughout the year to review the work of Jessica, and Jessica does a wonderful job of providing leadership to the organization.
Great. And this is a self-appointed board?
Correct. Correct. We do welcome and try to identify members in the community who have connections. There are expectations with NeighborWorks throughout the United States in terms of the membership needs to reflect the constituents that it serves. And so we're always looking forward for members from other nonprofits to represent those communities. So we want to be sure we're inclusive and have a diverse board membership.
That's great. So Jessica, give me your elevator speech.
Our elevator speech.
Tell me what it is that Neighborhood Housing Partnership does and how it does it.
Perfect. The Housing Partnership is a HUD-approved NeighborWorks America Homeownership Center. As a NeighborWorks Homeownership Center, that means that we offer full cycle services for people thinking about buying their homes, people who are in their homes, and in 2011 we expanded to also include foreclosure counseling. Our organization has assisted over 1,000 people purchase their first homes since 2001, and we've had less than 1% foreclosure rate with our homebuyer education program.
Great.
We have different lines of services, which include the homebuyer education. It offers an 8-hour homebuyer education workshop called Step by Step. We have one-on-one counseling, which includes credit and budget counseling, where we review your credit and we help people determine what their affordability level is. If they have credit issues, we establish action plans with them to help them determine where they are in this process. And then we also administer the sale of income-restricted properties throughout 6 municipalities in Morris County. And we also do foreclosure counseling. And then we've also expanded our Home Smart program, which is for people that already own their homes that might need some information on small home repairs. We've partnered with Habitat for Humanity to do some hands-on trainings on those workshops. So in an elevator pitch, I usually say the Housing Partnership is your first stop to home ownership, and we are here to help anybody thinking about buying their house.
Right. And you deal with many clients throughout the course of a given year?
Yes, our homebuyer education on a typical year, we have about a total of 250 clients go through our program.
Okay. And how long would it take a client to go through the appropriate program?
Well, it depends on where the client is when they first start. So we have
Okay.
some clients that may come in and they are ready to purchase. They just needed the information so that they knew what the process of buying looks like, and then maybe that little extra boost of, you can do it, you've
Right.
saved, you're
Right.
really prepared to do
Right.
this. Other clients, we've worked with some clients for up to 4 years. As of when I was a homeowner, I think I worked with my very first client for 4 years before she was able to purchase.
Okay.
But that's because we started right from the bottom with her, which was the savings, the establishing credit, her actually establishing her employment history, and then she was able to purchase a wonderful 3-bedroom income-restricted property in Randolph.
That's great.
Where her payment for a 3-bedroom, I think her payment was probably under $1,000. So it was worth the wait for her.
Absolutely. And you said there was an 8-hour program, basic program that most people go through?
Yes, we offer an 8-hour homebuyer education program called Step by Step in English. It's offered every month, and it takes place over the course of 2 nights.
Okay.
And that workshop is where we cover the whole entire home buying process from beginning to end. We talk about credit, budget, understanding a mortgage, and then we have a real estate agent as well present and an attorney. So it encompasses the whole journey of home ownership, and we give unbiased information. It's a place for people to come in who are thinking about buying their first home, to just want to lay the foundation to understand how this process works.
That's great. When we return from our break, we'll talk about success and development of the Housing Partnership. Please stay with us.
Hey Roberta, it's Kathy. I found a great place that you have to check out right off Route 10 in Randolph.
What is it?
It's the Women's Center at CCM.
The Women's Center at County College of Morris?
That's right. It's a fantastic place located right at the County College of Morris. They do a variety of things to help you become independent.
Like what?
They helped me to identify my job skills and helped me with my resume. They have current job market information too. I even went through a mock interview. I'm working now with someone to help me find a job with a future.
That sounds great for you, Kathy, but I haven't worked for years. I've been home with the kids.
Roberta, they specialize in helping women who have lost the support of their spouse, and you work with someone one-on-one.
I don't know. I mean, you know me. I don't even know the first thing about computers. Forget about a resume.
They have one-on-one help to teach you about computers. They also have a legal clinic that can help you get valuable information regarding your divorce. They do a variety of things to help you get back into the workforce. They even have a job club open to any woman looking for work.
How much does it cost?
The advice is free.
Free?
That's right, free.
Okay, what do I do?
Just call 973-328-5025 for an appointment, and they'll tell you more.
Welcome back to Community Connect. I'm your host, Ed Yaw, and today we're talking about the Housing Partnership with Executive Director Jessica Padilla Gonzalez and Board Chair Dr. Dwight Smith. So thank you very much for sharing with us how Housing Partnership works. Maybe we could talk a little bit about the founding of the Housing Partnership, if you could be so kind.
Perfect. So the housing partnership came to be from Morris 2000. There was a study conducted that said there was a really big need for information on housing and experts on housing, just to help the communities figure out what they need to do, where they can turn to. So in 1992, the founding executive director, Susan Zellman,
Yes.
put the organization together, and since then we've been in existence. We
Yes.
started off with a very small board. It was just a staff of one at the time, which was
Right,
Susan.
right.
And then from there, she grew the organization to where it is today. So I thank her.
Yes, and I think I remember her very well, and of course she recently retired. But I think the college has been pretty involved with the housing partnership pretty much from the beginning as well. I think one of our former deans, Carolyn DeCastro, was very involved with the board of the housing partnership, and having been a member of the Morris 2000 board of directors many years ago, I remember when this all started to happen. And could you share with us in some way the need in Morris County for the services of the housing partnership? A lot of people assume that since we're one of the wealthiest counties in the nation, that housing should not be an issue, at least for people with not very much means. But can you share with us some understanding of the need for your services in the county?
Of course. So our organization really focuses on the education component of home buying. So everybody, regardless of their income, needs to understand this huge purchase, which for most people it is the biggest purchase of their lives. So what we do at our organization is that we try to focus on developing the skills needed in order to be a successful homeowner, as our mission is to strengthen communities by creating lasting and responsible homeownership. So we focus on education, we focus on empowering our clients, which is having them understand that they can do this, and then most importantly, we give them the tools so that they understand how to figure out a budget, how to actually figure out their affordability, and not just go on an affordability that a bank is telling them, but for their own comfort level, so that they understand that once you become a homeowner, these are the expenses that you anticipate. And we also paint the picture between a lot of people may go in saying, I want to purchase because I'm tired of renting. So our organization says, yes, you may be paying a very high rent here in Morris County, but if you were purchasing a home, you may be paying the same thing, but there's all these additional responsibilities. So that's where all those additional workshops that we offer come into play, where we talk about the budgeting as a homeowner, we talk about preparing for major expenses. Most recently, we've added a workshop about budgeting for major repairs as a homeowner, where it says, anticipate all this work that you had to do, which you weren't doing when you were a renter.
Right.
So that's where the need is in the area, and also just we help to connect people with resources that they may not know were available. So we work very closely with Morris Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
They send all of their homeowners to us for the education and the skill building that they're going to need, so that Habitat knows that their homeowners are going to have all the tools necessary so that they are successful.
Yes, thank you for mentioning Habitat for Humanity. I wanted to ask you about partnerships that you might have with other nonprofit organizations in the county, and I assume that Habitat is probably one of the primary partnerships that you enjoy.
I love, the organization is called the Housing Partnership. So I look forward to always partnering with other organizations that may be offering services that we can work together to offer. I don't believe in recreating the wheel. If somebody's doing it and they're doing it good, we bring them on board. We've also partnered with Norwestcap, and they do a lot of our financial education workshops for our home buyers, but they have actually come in and we've tailored the program so that they meet the needs of our homeowners, and it's actually been really good. We've had very good feedback from our clients. They actually made budgeting fun, which I didn't think was possible. We had a 2-hour workshop on budgeting, and all the clients gave wonderful feedback because they do it in such a way that it's interactive, and the clients love that. It's not just a lecturing kind of workshop. And that's actually offered for free for our clients.
Right. And Dwight, you get involved in some of these partnerships, I presume, as well?
Well, through the board, you always are trying to make connections, and certainly through Habitat, that's one that we make a connection. And we are going through a process right now in terms of, after 20 years, where should the organization go? And Jessica is leading an effort of developing a new mission statement and vision for the organization, so we can really think about Morris County and perhaps meet the needs of surrounding counties and providing education. We have individuals from other counties coming to receive the education. I also think you mentioned earlier about the different type of services and the need. One of the needs that we're seeing increasing is providing education for Hispanic community here in Morris County that's growing. And we have Spanish-speaking workshops that Jessica and her staff lead. So, you know, we are looking and asking ourselves after 20 years, we've certainly accomplished a lot, but we also acknowledge that we could do more, and there are additional needs that we need to address throughout the county, not only here, but perhaps in the east portion of Morris County.
That's great. And speaking of success, you were sharing with me before we started the program some good news about success this year.
Yes, so far this fiscal year, the Housing Partnership has exceeded its goal. We had a goal of 60 new homeowners, and we're up to 80 new homeowners reported, which is great for us. Basically, it means that people are still buying, and they are letting us know, which is very important. But it shows us that the tools that we give to clients are working, and some of our buyers do not happen overnight. A lot of our clients come in with a goal that we want to purchase in less than a year. But by the time they finish the workshop and they do the one-on-one counseling and we set up their goals, they're able to determine, you know, maybe I'll buy in a year. And then we do all the work with them. So just to give a little feedback about what the one-on-one counseling includes, which is excellent, is so once they take the homebuyer education, which is the whole workshop about the process, they come back in and we do an assessment of where they are in this journey of home buying. So we review their credit, we review their budgets, we review their affordabilities, and we lay out a plan. So we could do a 6-month plan, a 3-month plan, and they come back for follow-up, and that's free.
Great. That's great. And as you said, sometimes it takes them 3 or 4 years to actually seal the deal.
Yes, I've had my very first client when I started at the organization. I worked with her for about 4 years before she was able to purchase. But we literally started with budget, figuring out her budget, establishing credit, and then savings. And then she was actually able to purchase a home, a 3-bedroom home in Randolph, which was excellent.
Right.
And it was worth it.
And you mentioned income-restricted housing.
Yes.
How does that work?
So the Housing Partnership is the administrator of income-restricted homes, or Mount Laurel homes, throughout Morris County. We hold a wait list for 6 municipalities. And actually one of them is in Sussex County as well. And what that means is if somebody thinks that they're interested or they may qualify, they can always call the office or visit our website. We have lots of information on our new website. But what we do is that we have a wait list, and then we send marketing information to the people on the list. And if they feel they're interested in buying, they go out and visit the property. Then we have them go through an application process. But we always encourage anybody who's interested in putting themselves on the list to just give us a call and also determine if they are really ready to buy at that point in time.
That's great. When Community Connect returns, we'll talk about some of the successful client stories the Housing Partnership has had. Please don't go away.
Not all County College of Morris students look like me.
Some look like me.
Or me.
Or me.
Or me.
We all come to CCM at different stages of life and for different reasons.
I plan to transfer to a university.
I'm training for a new career as a nurse.
But we all know one thing.
CCM is where we want to be.
So check out the website.
Check out the website.
Check out the website.
And let CCM connect learning and your life.
Welcome back to Community Connect. Once again, I'm your host, Ed Yaw, and we've been speaking with Housing Partnership Executive Director Jessica Padilla Gonzalez and Board Chair Dwight Smith. So as we ended the last segment, we were talking about your success in producing 80 first home buyers, but maybe you could share a couple of stories of typical successful clients that you've had over the years.
Well, one of the most memorable success stories that we had is a client called Damaris. Damaris came to the Housing Partnership, I believe, a year ago, and she came to us looking for rental with a caseworker. So Damaris' story is a little bit different than a lot of our clients, where Damaris came to us not thinking about home ownership, and she was in a little bit of crisis. Damaris actually lost her vision 3 months before she came to our organization, has a 10-year-old son, and was recently divorced. And the house that she was renting was going into foreclosure. So obviously we wanted to fix the situation as soon as possible, but what we did was we delve in a little bit more in her current situation. So we took a look at her income, we took a look at her assets and expenses, and we determined that homeownership was actually something that she couldn't attain. It took a little bit of finessing with her a little bit, because she really never thought that she was going to be able to purchase, especially with the situation that she found herself in, which was, recently lost her vision, divorced, and all by herself. So we probably counseled her for about 2 or 3 months, and we really worked on her affordability, her payment shock, selling a car that she had purchased before she even knew that she was going to lose her vision, which was a little bit of a challenge. And then we just helped to really build that confidence in her that she can actually buy and she can do it and she can be independent regardless of the situation that she was in. And I am happy to say that after probably 6 or 7 months, Damaris became a homeowner. She purchased an income-restricted property in Sparta, and she is happier than anybody I've ever met. She comes by the office all the time, thanks us, tell us how much it's helped. The home that she purchased was actually located in the middle of the town, so it's close for her to go out with her son and entertainment and stuff like that. But she has just been a reminder of why I love what we do.
Yes.
Because it was just being able to show somebody that they can actually do it.
Right. And Dwight, I think we've had a number of people, employees of the college, who've used the services of the Housing Partnership, and maybe you could share 1 or 2 of their stories.
Yeah. Well, we had a new faculty member a couple years ago, just received tenure. I was talking with her about her situation and talked with her about the Housing Partnership. She attended the educational programs, and I think a few months later actually bought her first home, and is happy. I mean, every time I see her, she's smiling. I ask her, how's the home? And she said, I just love it. Yep. Had another staff member who also was looking to purchase. I told her about the Housing Partnership. She went off and took the educational programs and purchased her first home. Again, every time I see her and ask her how it's going, how's the home, she just loves it, and she can't speak more highly about the Housing Partnership and the staff and what they've done. And even the college has been hosting over several years the Housing Expo, which occurs in the spring, usually in March. That brings together realtors and other service providers to homeowners. And I saw a staff member bringing her daughter there who was considering purchasing her first home. So we have received a lot of benefit through the Housing Partnership for our employees, and I think that's something companies should consider contacting us. I know we've been in contact with Paul Boudreau. It's been very helpful through the chamber to make connections, because I think we can provide services to employees to help them become established here in the Morris County.
So, of course, Paul Boudreau is the president of the Morris County Chamber of Commerce, and that certainly would be a very good connection for the partnership to make. And I think you mentioned to me earlier that one of our faculty members is helping develop a marketing plan for the Housing Partnership.
Right. That's one of the goals for the Housing Partnership, based upon Jessica's leadership, is really after 20 years we need to take a look at where we need to go and really strengthen our marketing efforts. And so through the business department, Professor Susan Miller has agreed to have a class of hers that she teaches in marketing work with the Housing Partnership this fall to develop a marketing plan that will be shared with the board, and gives them a good experience, but also allows for us to work with students and faculty here at CCM to provide some useful information as we think about how we should be marketing ourselves through the website, social media, and other new technologies.
I guess marketing relates to recruiting new clients.
Correct.
But also in terms of fundraising. I'm presuming, do you get any funding, any public funding, or is it all based on your fundraising abilities?
Well, the Housing Partnership actually has a unique membership with banks. So we have about 15 or 16 member banks that become members to the organization. And what happens is, as members, they pay a fee to the organization, but then they're also offer great benefits to our clients. So we have some banks that offer discount interest rates, no PMI mortgages, closing cost grants for up to $6,000 or $7,000. And all the client has to do is attend our workshop, have our certificate, and then they're able to benefit. So it's a really good partnership that we've established with them.
That's great.
And then one of our biggest fundraisers that we're having this year is our annual gala, the 22nd gala, which is going to be on Saturday, September 20th, on board a cruise line going around New York City.
Okay, very good.
So if you want more information on that, you can actually visit our website, which is housingpartnershipnj.org.
Right, and I think we may be able to work some information on that into this program as well. And that'll be a cruise around Manhattan.
Yes.
I think you mentioned there's going to be a live band involved.
A live band,
and
sightseeing.
And 4 decks of fun and frolic,
yes,
and so forth.
A lot of fun, and then they'll actually be able to meet Damaris as well, who's going to be our success story. And we're also honoring Dennis Miller, P-Pat Gladstone, and this year's J. Bacco Award recipient is Robert Michaels, who was our previous board chair during the transition.
Okay.
So we're excited about that. It's going to be a fun night, and you're going to be able to support homeownership and have fun at the same time.
Right. And P-Pat Gladstone is one of the local banks that I guess as a member of your organization.
Yes, they're actually one of our newest member banks, and they're being really innovative, and they're changing up some of the services that they're offering, and they're meeting the needs of the market and our clients. So we're thanking them for that, for being able to kind of stay ahead of the trends and help out. And then Dennis Miller was actually there for us throughout the whole transition. So he was our consultant during the transition from the founding executive director to me.
Right.
So
that wraps up this edition of Community Connect. Thank you, Jessica and Dwight, for joining us on today's program. For more information about the Housing Partnership, please visit their website, housingpartnershipnj, that's one word, .org. And more information about the County College of Morris, we welcome you to visit us at ccm.edu. I'd like to know your thoughts about today's program and ask you to share your comments and thoughts with me. You can write to me, Ed Yaw at County College of Morris, 214 Center Grove Road, Randolph, New Jersey, 07869, or email me at eyaw@ccm.edu. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Ed Yaw, and we'll see you again next time on Community Connect on Morris Educational Television.